Okay, welcome everybody. So we're going to begin, as we always do, with settling into our seat. But before we do that, I want you to just move a little bit. So do a little bit of cat-cow, a little bit of maybe torso circling, move your spine. And my thought today is a little bit on Drishti, so a focal point, where your mind is looking. Because we can be doing any number of activities, we can be doing any number of techniques to meditate or to breathe or to try to get something to happen. But if your mind is somewhere else, then the effects that you actually receive from the technique are going to be different, maybe limited. Good. So after you've done a little movement, woken up your spine, got your dog settled, then start to find your comfortable seat. Again, that's a seat that is sustainable. It doesn't have to be cross-legged. It can be whatever it needs to be. Good. And then as you find your seat, let the eyes begin to close or close almost completely. So again, that's an option there, is to keep the eyes open, just a little bit of a sliver of light at the bottom, so that there is a awareness that you are not disappearing from the world, or that you're staying present with everything that is on the outside, and at the same time, your mind is now focused inward. So if you've never tried that before, maybe try it, because there's a powerful feeling of having your eyes slightly open while you're meditating. So again, eyes can be closed if that's what feels appropriate, or a sliver of light, so that you are aware that you are not disappearing from the world, but the attention of the mind is focused inward. So as that attention moves inward, start to feel the movement of the breath. Become aware of the sensation of the breath at the tips of the nostrils as it moves through the throat. Become aware of the expansion and contraction of the rib cage. Become aware of the expansion and contraction of the belly. Notice where your tension is sitting. And where there is that experience, don't try and immediately shift and get out of it. Can you breathe a little bit deeper? Maybe sending the mind into those places that tension is resting. Again, Drishti, internal or external, where the mind is looking. Where the mind goes, your prana follows. So if your attention is on a particular body part, a particular area, the mind will, or the prana will flow to that area. And then bring the awareness to the tip of your nose. So again, the eyes, the internal gaze is directed at the tip of your nose. You may even feel like your physical eyes do a little bit of that, drawing towards that point. Just continue to feel the breath as it moves. Attention on the tip of your nose. And then switch the attention on the next breath, release. And bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. And imagine that just above the space between your eyebrows, there is a second point. And that you are breathing between those two. So there's the larger space between the eyebrows, and then just above that, there is an energy point. Still center of the head. And as you breathe, you're breathing up to that second point and back down to the space of the third eye. Breathing up to that point and down to the space of the third eye. And they're close together. Imagining those 2 points, center of the forehead, third eye, and a second point just a little above that. It's the Guru Chakra. In the next breath, release that focal point. Drop the attention or drop the awareness all the way down to the base of your spine, to the tail. And again, feeling the breath as it moves. As the mind has been switching its focus, whatever energy is generated in one place, it doesn't disappear because the mind's focus shifts. It's like turning on lights in your home. Whatever room you are in, you illuminate it. The more rooms you illuminate, then there is no more that experience that there are corners of shadow. And if there are, you're no longer confused about what room that is. You simply know it. The process of meditation is turning on that light, the illuminating quality of your mind. The drishti that we use, the focal points for the mind, are meant to do just that. It's to turn on a light in a specific part of your mind, a specific part of yourself. But one doesn't disappear because you've switched the focus to something else. One more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let the attention come back to the whole body, come back to your seat, dropping the internal drishti. And again, start to do a little movement of your spine, cat, cow, or circling, or both. And then come back to stillness. So I'm going to give you an option for mild, medium, or spicy breathing. That's what I call it that. So what I'm considering the mild is to do alternate nostril. So breathing in through one nostril, exhaling through the other, the way we traditionally do. The medium is breath of fire on its own. So pumping the navel in and out. The spicy is doing both. So alternate nostril with breath of fire, right? So if you have no idea what that looks like, again, breath of fire, pumping in and out the navel through the nose. With the same hand movement that you would do with alternate nostril. Yeah, sort of makes sense? So again, mild, medium, or spicy. So if you're thinking that that is too much mental work to do, I suggest that again, you try it. But if you're feeling like you need something that is a little bit more level, then either alternate nostril by itself or breath of fire by itself instead of both. So if you need me to walk you through that, just wave a hand, either one. So find that comfortable seat again, adjusting if you need to. Left hand can rest on the left thigh, Gyan Mudra if you'd like, thumb and first finger together, or any mudra that serves you. Right hand comes up if you are doing alternate nostril either by itself or with breath of fire, curling pointer and middle finger in towards the palm, extend thumb, ring, and pinky. And if you're just doing alternate nostril by itself, you're going to inhale the breath, close off the right nostril, exhale through the left, and then inhaling through the left, close off, exhale through the right, continue that way. If you're going for a breath of fire, right, you're going to bring the hand here again. Let's start with, actually, let's do it this way. If you're going to go for the double, let's start with just a little bit of breath of fire just to get your navel into the rhythm of it, and then we'll add the hand, okay? So let the hands rest for a moment. Deep breath in. Deep breath all the way out. Inhale about halfway, and then begin to pump your navel. Beautiful to have a hand at the navel here so that you can feel the lifting and rising. And again, it's a relaxed kind of energy. So it's pumping, but it's steady. So the navel is active, but not forceful to the point of jerking your shoulders around. Keep going. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale fully. Pause at the top of your breath. Exhale all the way out. And just feel for a moment. So if that breath felt like it was enough, then you can come back to it for the next round. Stick with that. If you would like to add the alternating nostrils to it, then this time we'll add the hand. So again, your choice. Deep. If you're doing the alternating nostrils, lift that right hand, pointer and middle finger curl in, extend thumb and ring and pinky. And we'll begin deep breath in, deep breath out. Breathe in about halfway, and then pump the navel. Yeah, so you're still alternating. Each part of the breath is a switch, so it's a quick one. It's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You can always drop the hand and just go back to breath of fire, or drop the breath of fire and just keep alternating the nostrils, but keep going. Stay with your breath. Again, let your mind be part of the breathing technique, whatever it is, so that it's not focused on where it's going, but it's focused on breath, 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 breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep going. And then deep breath in, pause and hold. Exhale all the way out, releasing the mudras if you're using them. Feel for a moment. I'm going straight into Sitali Breath. So traditionally we would extend the tongue here and curl the tongue like a straw to breathe in. So you sip in through the curled tongue. If you need to look what that looks like, then open your eyes and look. And then you exhale through the nose, closed mouth. Good. If you cannot curl your tongue, and that's not your fault if you can't, you just open O-shaped mouth and sip the breath through the O-shaped mouth. And exhale through the nose. So continue like that, drawing the breath in. And then exhaling through the nose. And eyes can remain closed or slightly open. Do not lose your connection. If you would like to bring your focal point back to any of the points that we've already used, tip of the nose, third eye, space above the third eye, tailbone, you're welcome to do that. Sipping the breath in through the curled tongue or the O-shaped mouth. Exhaling through the nose. You may find that by simply staying with a breathing technique, that your mind naturally settles in one place. And if that's the case, don't try to force it to go somewhere else. If the mind feels drawn to settle at the throat, let it settle at the throat. If it's drawn to the top of the head, let it settle at the top of the head. So there are the drishtis that we choose, that we direct the mind to. Keep breathing. We direct the mind to them for that purpose of creating a certain effect, illuminating a certain part of the mind. And then there's the natural, organic way that simply by bringing awareness to the breath, bringing awareness to regulating that aspect of the prana, is it helps the mind to settle, because your breath is prana as well. So if the breath becomes regular and steady, the mind will follow that. And wherever it naturally comes to rest, in that case, is the perfect drishti. the end of your next exhale, release the breathing pattern. Feel for a moment what you feel. And let the eyes float open for a moment just so you can see what we're going to do. Your final little meditation is for opening the heart. So you're going to bring both hands into Gyan Mudra, so thumb and first finger together. And then the way it looks is that the right hand is going to be facing up like this. Your left hand is going to be facing up towards the ceiling, and you're bringing the wrists together, right? So the right hand is facing to the side. Left hand palm is facing up towards the ceiling. Your wrists are coming together, so they should be almost at a 90-degree angle. It's hard for me to show. Good, and you're resting that right at your diaphragm, so right at that base of the heart center. Good, and you're holding that mudra. And then as you inhale, you're breathing in all the way up to the top of your breath, hold. And you're mentally chanting the word har. Mentally, in your mind, repeating har, 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 har. So this is a name for the divine. And then when you need to exhale, you'll exhale. And then you'll inhale again, pause at the top of the breath, hold, mentally chant har. And when you need to exhale, you will. Try to keep the wrists together at that 90-degree angle. So your left palm is facing up towards the ceiling, Anastasia, all the way up towards the ceiling. Yep, left palm all the way up. Good. And the right hand resting on top of that. So the inside wrists are together. Good. Just turn your right hand so that the inner wrists are together, pulse points together. There you go, but you want your left hand on the bottom. There you go. You got it. Continue with your breath, inhaling and holding mentally, repeating har. And here that inner drishti can be at the heart itself. The flame that exists in the heart, the divine spark that exists in the heart. Let the mind settle there. But as you are practicing, if the mind is drawn somewhere else, don't fight that. Let the mind settle where it settles. Breathing in, holding the breath, mentally chanting har. And when you need to exhale, you exhale. Try and keep the wrists together at 90-degree angles so that right hand, the right fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling. The palm is facing out to the left. And always keep the eyes slightly open so that you are maintaining your connection to the outer world, even while your attention is focused inward. The power of Drishti is that your mind can be on God or the divine, or whatever is your experience of your most elevated self. It can be there every moment of the day. You can still do everything that you need to do, but the mind can be focused, attention focused. On that experience. and it will shift how you experience everything else in the world. Like turning on lights in your own mind. Mentally chanting Har as you hold the breath, exhaling when you need to. Mudras are much like Drishti, as they are a focal point, a way for the prana to run, to regulate. And so the use of these tools is to help bring your prana, body prana, mind prana, into a state that is steady and free. Remembering that meditation is not meant to be a solution to problems. It's a place where the problems of the mind simply don't exist. Because there's a moment that there's the recognition that there is a problem, the solution is there. So we use these tools not to try to correct the mind, but to illuminate. Cultivate that state where the focus of the mind is not stuck in one place, but it's able to see everything. Where the mind is able to perceive the power of places beyond it. The heart, the body, the soul. The end of your next exhale, release the mantra, release the mudra, letting the hands come to rest on the knees or the thighs. Pause for a moment. Maybe shifting into the idea that it is very normal to feel at peace. It can be very normal. It may not yet be your habit. But if you keep directing the mind to that state, you use the tools that you have to cultivate that state. And it can be normal. We keep using that phrase, the new normal. Make your new normal being at peace. Come back to feeling your seat. Come back to your experience of the room around you if your mind has been elsewhere. Bring the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. Dropping the chin towards your chest. Again, attention inward and outward simultaneously. You can only know yourself completely and fully by having both experiences. So thank yourself for being in the world and in your inner world. Paying attention. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Great rest of your week until I see you again. You have to unmute yourself to tell me how that went.
That was really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy birthday early.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday's on Tuesday, so do
Awesome.
something fun on Tuesday.